Wembanyamaa and Chet played each other in preseason. This is very exciting. And I know the stats are crazy. I know they both went crazy. I've seen a couple of clips, but we're gonna live react to the full game highlights. I have not seen this game. I've not seen very much of this. Give my thought process as I'm watching, breaking this down. Kind of low production today, but I haven't had as much time to do videos because of work. But this should be fun as well because I'm very, very excited to watch the highlights of this game because, my God, these guys are both awesome. And I'm really excited to see how they use both Chet and Wemby on offense and defense. Great drive from J-Dub, and this was a thing that I wondered is how much would Chet's handle allow him to be a dribble handoff big, and this obviously wasn't a very difficult handling situation. We see Wemby get beat there guarding the perimeter, which of course is going to happen because he's one of the most enormous people ever, and J-Dub, beautiful and one. I believe a breakout year for J-Dub is coming. I don't think that's a very controversial opinion. Beautiful little hang finish, but I think it's a pretty common opinion, especially among like Thunder people. What the hell was that? Among like Thunder people that J-Dub's gonna break out. But yeah, I mean, come on, what do you do? I think J-Dub is so well rounded. He had an amazing rookie season. I did a video on his whole rookie season a little bit earlier in the summer. Nice little fly-by dunk, simple stuff. Man, oh my goodness, J-Dub is ridiculous. Oh my God. Oh man, this is the thing with Wemby, that even when you beat him, you're never out of a play. Because even though this is dead in the water for 99% of NBA defenders, he has the quickness off the floor, the length, the timing, all that to block this shot. But J-Dub, I love this drive. I think one of my main concerns with J-Dub is his ability to get easy looks as a creator, to improve his separation game. And I mean, obviously Wemby is a rookie big, but man, that is a beautiful behind the back to accelerate. And yeah, I was not expecting that to go as well as it did, and Wemby is just absolutely ridiculous. Oh my God. Oh my what the fuck? Oh my goodness. This is ridiculous. Obviously, again, I think the things I look at here are look how low he gets to the ground. Wemby is 7'5", 7'6", whatever, and he is torso parallel. This is elite leverage generation. Drives right through Chet, who's obviously a skinnier guy that's been overdone, but the handling control to go between the legs, change directions, finish strong. This is wow. That is really, really special. This is not one of the clips that I saw, and I think some of the perimeter stuff is going to be ugly for Wemby. It's not going to be perfect. Oh my goodness, Giddy with an absolute rifle. But the flashes are going to be spectacular. And yeah, I did see this clip. Wemby is going to like break NBA offense because he just does shit that no one else can do and no one else has ever done. Like, this is the longest dig of all time. look at the ground he covers to force this turnover on Kaysen, who I'm also interested to watch and see if we get anything from him notable in this highlight package. But like, nobody expects this guy to be the dig man. Like, normally it's Trey Jones 2 passes away, who's already sitting at the elbow, who's going to be in the nail digging right here. But nope, it's Wemby sticking out his longest arms ever and going in transition for the dunk. Like, man, these highlights are absolutely as insane as people made them seem to be so far. So let's continue with the highlight scout. We have Chet bringing up the ball, and we're going to get an easy drive and finish. Chet was an all-time college freshman finisher, incredible body control, craft, and even with Zach Collins, this is a fantastic contest. Zach Collins, I think, is pretty underrated, honestly. But yeah, Chet's body control, hanging in the air, really great stuff on that finish, and we see him work to get this offensive rebound right here, which is a really nice thing to see. As well, the physicality has always been great. I love this little twisting touch shot where he goes over like the weak shoulder here at a really awkward angle and is able to slip it in there with great touch. I think people worry about the offense a little bit. I don't really share those concerns just because of how dominant of a finisher I think he's going to be right away. Giddy getting blocked. We're not going to talk about that. But again, nice offensive rebound by Chet, putting that one back right into the bucket there. Is that Chetty? I did not even know Chetty on the Spurs. Ousmane Dieng minutes. I'm interested to see what Ousmane Dieng does this year. This is some pretty decent screen nav. Gets shook there originally, but is able to get his feet around and get back to at least kind of contest that shot. Didn't get his hands up or anything, where he definitely should have done that to make a bit more of an effort. We see Doug McDermott. J-Dub gets cooked off of a screen. I mean, it's Doug McDermott. It's just gonna happen with these guys who are just elite movement shooters. Unbelievably hard to stop. We have Blake Wesley minutes early in this preseason. He's one of my favorite guys who probably isn't going to end up being very good, but interested to see how he can grow as a decision maker, a playmaker. Charles Bassey sighting as well. Isaiah Joe, I made a whole video about his defense, and yeah, the strength and the holding ground against bigger players is always going to be the limiting factor, where I think he has really elite high-level defensive traits like his agility and screen nav and off-ball stuff, but because of the inability there as a strength guy, it's really going to hurt him. I see some good stuff from Ousmane and from Chet here. Really great reactions by Dieng here to sneak over to this cutter, cut it off, and then Chet gets back into play too by Wiggins. Doesn't get the offensive rebound, but I think there's interesting defensive stuff there as well. Aaron Wiggins. I love Aaron Wiggins. This is for shout out to the guy who comments on like all of my videos to do an Aaron Wiggins video. I'm a big Aaron Wiggins fan. He's one of my favorite random role players. Amazing off-ball player. Again, he catches in stride, quick 2-dribble, spin move, great finish. It's like the simple, decisive plays that are so important for NBA offenses. And oh, is this the play I saw? Yeah. Oh my God. This is the play that I saw, that I did see on the timeline, and what on earth is this? I think we talk about the functional handle again with Wemby. He's driving himself into traffic initially, but he maintains his dribble, spins back, and like, come on. What do you do? What do you do? I don't know, but I think it's really interesting that the Spurs are probably going to give him like plenty of real perimeter opportunities this year. And yeah, I saw this movement 3, and this is going to be a Chet 3 on the other end as well, where they're legit running Victor off of screens and shit, which is what he did last year with Met 92. Like, this is what part of what made him such an exciting shooting prospect, despite the low percentages, is how crazy like the versatility was at his size and the type of shots that he was willing and able to take and stuff like that. Very few 7-foot-plus guys can do it. Chet is not one of them, but he certainly can hit open, spot up, above the break threes, and that's going to be definitely a part of his offensive threat, especially as a younger player when all of the other stuff is developing. And no way this goes. What? No way. No way. Okay, we have the Spurs running Wemby off of legit like Chicago pistol, pin down into dribble handoff stuff where a screen wasn't really set there, but Wemby is just gonna dribble into a pull up, and I don't know what to say. Like, this stuff, those shots aren't gonna go in all the time, but the fact that this is like literally impossible to guard, and Ousmane Dieng is not a small person. Like, he's like a 6'9" dude who, like, this is a wide open shot, regardless if Ousmane is contesting. And those are, again, if he can convert into even kind of decent percentage-wise, he's going to be special. Malachi Branham and one. I am definitely a fan of his offense. I love his touch, his intermediate scoring game. Kaysen sighting. I'm very excited to watch Kaysen Wallace this year. I think was one of the most underrated prospects, most underdrafted prospects in the class. I had him a good bit higher than he went, which is pretty high, where his off-ball instincts are really special. And if you throw the ball anywhere near him, he is probably going to steal it with his crazy instincts and great length and activity and motor and all of that. I think he's going to be a really impactful defender as a rookie for OKC. Offense is the big question mark for him, and I'm interested to see what he's able to do. But I think the defense is going to be excellent. And this is, I think, another example of why Chet's going to be fine as a rookie. Like, the coordination, the touch, to jump up and finish this kind of play with one hand. Also, phenomenal pass by J-Dub as well. He's a great passer too. Just perfectly placed lob, only where Chet can get it, falling towards the sideline, able to catch that ball with one hand and dunk it home. Like, I don't think people really understand, at least casual fans, like, understand how incredible of a finisher Chet always has been, and that's going to be a big component of his game. And it was what made him such a special prospect, along with the defense. And I think it's going to be huge for OKC this year. Oh my God, J-Dub. Especially given like how weird their center rotation is and was last year in terms of actual bigs. And man, look at that little rocker step. Oh my, like a crazy explosion there. He is a really crazy athlete where the strength is amazing. He definitely looks a little bigger than he did last year, where he has this low pickup, explosive move one way, change directions, explode off of that front foot the other way, last steps, and he beautifully dunks it home. I mean, if he can create advantages like that more consistently, and especially in the half court, it is going to be a very special season for J-Dub. And I don't think, like, contending for an all-star spot is out of the question for him. I doubt it'll happen just because of how crowded the West is, but it's not impossible. I really don't think it's impossible if everything goes right for J-Dub. I think he's probably going to be OKC's second best player this year, next to Shea, at least at this point. And yeah, I mean, even with a guy like Wemby, 7'5", 7'6" length, J-Dub is able to cash that three. Very, very good start for him. And we have Bertans, new member of the OKC Thunder. Remember that one year when Bertans shot the lights out and got paid and then wasn't very good anymore? Need Vassell, Devin Vassell, the many $million man. Big ups to him, one of my guys. But the screen navigation has always been like the biggest defensive weakness for him, where his lack of functional strength and some like incredible flexibility and agility, for whatever reason he struggles to get around screens, and he has for a while, and that's definitely going to be something to look at because of especially how incredibly good his team defense is, how incredibly good of a rotational defender he is. And we see it one more time with Vassell getting totally stuck on this screen. The technique isn't great. He's not stepping over, but that's one of like the big Vassell improvement areas that I'm wanting to see, where I think he's so good in other areas that it's one of those things that's so important to be able to defend screens in the modern NBA, and I think if you can add that, it's going to be really, really special. We see Wemby's handle getting plucked here by Kenrich, who is a really amazing defender, savvy veteran, and as I mentioned earlier with the functional handle, it's going to be interesting to see how usable Wemby is actually as a driver, because there's going to be moments like this where he just cannot dribble versus real NBA defenders. They're going to pluck it super easily, but like, we don't really see Wemby getting that low here either. Like, there was that drive earlier where he got crazy low, but this one is a little more upright, and I think that definitely plays into Wemby's inability to create separation. And I hate these ads, but I do think that Wemby's perimeter stuff, if not like incredible, is going to be really exciting, and I hope the Spurs let him do it a lot, even if it's not good, and even if it's like bad consistently, because he needs the reps to improve. And love me a Trey Mann sighting. Another one of my longtime faves, who doesn't seem to have like the burst or like shooting greatness to really make this work, but like, man, the handle and the change of direction and all that stuff has always been ridiculous. And if he can turn that into a real skill, it almost looked like Wemby like tipped that ball, which is insane. If he can turn that into real like driving skill, then I think there's a place maybe in an NBA rotation for Trey Mann. Unsure if it'll be OKC given all of the guards they already have and the fact that they drafted a guard in the lottery this past year. Man, Bertans is cooking. Oh my goodness, this is fun to watch. I love giant movement shooters. If Bertans is actually a good shooter, that would be really, really cool. Again, I definitely don't think he is what he used to be the 1 year, whatever year it was that he got paid, but I do think he's probably worth something somewhere. And obviously defense has always been a big issue for him. Like, he is just not physical, provides very little as a rim protector. But I love this Vassell pass here. We see him draw a two. There's this like hard hedge defense, and he simply punishes a late rotation by Trey Mann with a timely pass. It's nothing crazy, but given his on-ball scoring potential, those are the passes that he's going to need to make to maximize that. And maybe Usman 3 here, or, oh man, I love J. Will. Tre Mann, I look at some really nice handling, pace, and change of speed there. Look at that, how sudden he is. I just love watching that guy move. But I really like Jalen Williams, J. Will, not J. Dub. He has real flaws, but like the motor, the passing awareness, the handling, all of that I think is really useful in a rotation role. And again, I don't think he's ever going to be anything more than like a rotation big, but I do think he is like an NBA rotation player, which is good for where they got him. Ooh, very nice. Blake Wesley last year was kind of a disaster in terms of pacing and decision making and actually just like making positive impact as a guard beyond his like crazy athletic flashes. But I love this here, using pace to slow down, a little like snake back to the middle. And, you know, admittedly that jumper was wide open, but it's good seeing the process of Wesley getting there, because that's the thing with him. Like, he's always been amazing at generating open shots, and we see some of the issues with J. Will's defense, his rim protection problems being that he just likes to take charges. But yeah, I do think when it comes to Blake Wesley, these process improvements, how can he get smarter on the offensive end? How can he better leverage his tools are the things to look out for. And he's probably going to continue to spend a lot of time in the G League. Isaiah Joe is a monster. But I think, I don't know if Wesley is cooked or if he's going to get a chance anywhere. I don't know if it's going to be with the Spurs. But yeah, like the highs with Wesley have always been really high. Like, this is great stuff. Splitting this hedge pick and roll defense with a beautiful low pickup, exploding into the paint and finding the open man. Like, the pass at the end especially is nothing crazy, but given how easy this advantage creation was, how it was so easy for him to put the defense into rotation, that he can capitalize on that. And again, these are the kind of plays that are going to always make me a Blake Wesley believer. Like, even if he's bad forever, I'm always going to believe because the flashes are good, and the good stuff that he could theoretically bring is just so valuable. And whew, that was a nice finish by Tre Mann. Anything good from Tre Mann is good because he's fun, and fun players being good is always better for the league. I think we're going to get more Tre Mann minutes here, and yeah, that defense from Blake Wesley is not great. That is another big improvement area for him, is sticking to his guys on defense. I think you could definitely blame CD Sissoko as well for the communication error here, but another beautiful finish here by Tre Mann, switching hands in midair to avoid the contest there. I don't have numbers in front of me on Tre Mann's finishing, and honestly, I don't know off the top of my head how good it's been, but I don't think it's been very good. I could be wrong on that, though, and seeing that improving, whew, beautiful. Like, this is the stuff with Blake Wesley that, like, the creation potential is very real, even if it's unlikely he ever hits that ceiling. And those are just the kind of players that are so dangerous and easy to fall for. Lindy Waters sighting, kind of cool that he's sticking around in the league after, like, literally not being on any draft radars, at least like to my knowledge from what I was seeing at the time of that draft. And he seems to have found his way onto an NBA floor with some decent consistency, which honestly is really nice. Usman Jang hitting a 3 here. Would be cool to see his spacing improve. I really love how confidently he shoots this. Simple, high release, doesn't dip the ball too low, and that shot honestly looks pretty good. I'm definitely interested to see if Jang can find a spot in a Thunder rotation that I assume is going to be more competitive, or at least try to be more competitive than they were last year. Great pass by CD Sissoko. That's his thing. These like reactive interior passes where he's going to be able to find cutters, and this is great anticipation, throwing into space rather than throwing to the man that he's trying to pass to. Really, really solid stuff as well from CD, who I think is going to have some fun moments this year in Austin and as a rookie. And nice drive here by Usman Jang, rejecting the screen. Obviously, Mamu is not a very good defender, but love this little reverse. He's like so fluid and fun to watch. He's a very aesthetically pleasing player because of just the way he moves, and we would not have finished this game without a Serge Ibaka Rice pump fake. He has the nasty. If you're not like a college basketball or like a really like draft nerd, you probably don't know who Sir'Jabari Rice is, but he has the nastiest pump fake ever. Like, full stop. It looks like he jumps. I don't know how he does it. He is the cleanest pump fake of all time. And he's like really old, and defense isn't great, but he's a really good offensive player, at least like as a complimentary guard. And even if it's not in the NBA, I definitely think Rice could be a pro somewhere. I don't know where though. Shout out to Jack White though, who is a longtime draft Twitter sleeper guy on that like RJ, Zion, Cam, Duke team. Another nice like Ousmane Dieng usage, using his speed and some stride length stuff to get downhill. Doesn't end up finishing this play, but I really like the process to get there with his speed, his stride length, going downhill and looking to finish, and nice hustle play by Lindy Waters. Those are the things that he's going to do to keep him on the roster. We have a Devontae Graham sighting. He is going to be hitting random threes off of an NBA bench for the next 10 years or whatever, and until he ends up retiring. And shout out to Olivier Sarr as well. Hopefully he can get his brother on, his brother Alex, who I have made videos on the Thunder next year. And yeah, if you aren't hyped to, oh my goodness, Jack White. This is like two draft Twitter sleeper guys colliding where nasty. How is this not a shot? Like, I really will never blame any player for biting on his pump fakes because, like, he is a really good shooter as well. So you have to close hard. It's not like an Embiid situation where players should just never be closing out as hard as they are. Like, that's a shot. I don't know what you do. And Jack White's thing has always been like, amazing, like high feel guy, defensive rotations, passing, screening, cutting. Offense and scoring has always been the problem with him, and he's like more of a big 5 type without that kind of skill or size. But again, we see the initial rotation here. He gets lost here, but that's like the activity, the awareness, and nice pass by Don Barlow, who was fantastic in Summer League. And I'm really excited to see if he can crack the Spurs rotation, because as well towards like the end of last year, he was playing really well, and there was a lot of good stuff. But yeah, oh my goodness, finishing this video off with a great Ousmane Dieng rotation. I thought his defense was much better than his offense last year. I really liked his defense coming out relative to what I think other people thought. The movement skills, the length, the awareness and instincts really solid. I love this rotation, getting early and using his length to deny this shot. But that's it. That was insanely fun. Oh no, it's not it. We're going to get a Devontae Graham. I did not realize this game was so down to the wire. But yeah, this game was insanely fun to watch, and I hope you enjoyed this highlight breakdown. In the first half at least, Chet and Wemby were unreal, and there were some other fun players in this one too. So let me know if you want more of these, and like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Thanks so much.